Welcome to Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. I'm Rob Wilson.
And I am Tony DeQuano.
So, Tony, we started something about a year ago.
Yes.
Let's finish it. Or
Think we can finish that?
Get one step closer to finishing it.
Okay.
Let's talk about some John Wick goodness.
Ooh. Yes, John Wick. It has been a while, hasn't it?
I think it was like June of last year or something that we
Yeah.
did John Wick 1 and 2. So.
Yeah, time to get back into it. We've covered a lot of other movies since then. Done a lot of different series and different tributes. But it's good to get back to some good John Wick action.
Yes, it is.
Some Keanu.
Yes.
No, we did have a Keanu movie in between.
Yes, we did.
Because we finally covered Speed. Right? And you and I love some Speed.
Yes, we do.
The movie.
Not the powdery Speed. But yeah, the movie Speed.
With Keanu and Jeff Daniels and Dennis Hopper and Sandra Bullock, Joe Moore, and Alan Ruck, Beth Grant.
Yeah.
And Ortiz.
Yes, Ortiz. Gigantor.
But yes, we also do love John Wick.
Yes, we do.
And I think a lot of people love John Wick. And it's funny. It's 10 years ago, right? It was a nice, refreshing, original action franchise, especially an R-rated action like franchise, right? Or movie itself was not a franchise yet. It quickly became a franchise, and now, like so many other things, it has its own universe.
Yep.
And at one point, it was just a nice original. You would have thought maybe it just would have been one off, but it became so popular, it spurned a whole franchise.
I mean, John Wick, I think, is the definition of sleeper hit.
Yes. Even at the time, like people thought, "Oh, Keanu," in some kind of non-major studio action movie, with Willem Dafoe as a co-star.
Yeah, this
are we serious?
This franchise did for Keanu, or well, not this franchise, but really just that movie. The first John Wick movie did for Keanu what Pulp Fiction did for John Travolta.
Absolutely. That's a very good comparison. I like it.
It completely reinvigorated his theatrical career.
And people discovered that he's just a delightful human being.
Yes, he is.
And now he did wonderful voice work for Toy Story 4, which is a movie I'm really not a fan of, but he was like the best part of Toy Story.
He was great
4.
as Duke Kaboom.
And and he's been in a whole host of other movies, and he's almost I'm not gonna say parody, but like they just kind of lean into that whole persona of Keanu now, where he just shows up in a whole spattering of things. And it all started with just John Wick, which was, when it came down to it, a pretty simple action movie.
Yeah.
With a lot of gunfight.
Yeah. Or gun fu, if you want to use the proper term for it.
And then, it expanded beyond just the gun fu, right? We learned that he is willing to kill people in a whole host of ways.
Yes.
I mean, they even tell us that in the first John Wick movie, right? With, one of the legends of him is that he killed three guys.
Yes,
three
men.
guys.
Yes.
With a pencil.
A fucking pencil.
And we get a payoff on that when he does it again at a subway station in
the second
John Wick Chapter 2.
Yeah. We see just how he was able to kill somebody with a pencil. And this movie, there are other creative ways that he uses that we'll get to when we get to that portion of the episode.
There are so many creative ways.
One of them is right at the beginning of the movie.
Yes. But
a couple of them are right at the beginning of the movie.
Yes. Throughout the movie. Yep. This movie gives you the occasional lull. But otherwise is like 2 hours and 10 minutes of Keanu Reeves killing everybody.
In creative ways.
Because if the first 2 movies weren't enough of that,
yeah, I mean they gotta ramp up the kill count,
right? And two up the stakes nicely, right? First one again, pretty self-contained, all in New York, and we find out that he's just this hitman that was retired because he found love.
Yep.
And then she died, and he was sad. But she left him a puppy. And it made him feel good inside. And then a couple of jackasses have to kill his puppy.
Yep.
And then they steal his Mustang.
Yep.
And that just won't do.
That damn Theon Greyjoy.
We had discovered that just like Chuck Norris, with Keanu Reeves, if you kill his puppy and take his car, you're dead.
Yeah.
And so, but then he kills everybody, right?
Everybody.
He was going to leave it. He was going to leave it well enough alone. Actually, he was just going to kill the people responsible. But then they wouldn't let that be.
Nope.
So they kill more people.
Yep.
And then when he was done with all of them, he was going to be done. He was going to go back to his house because he found a new dog.
Yep.
And this dog would be that reminder of the other dog and that love of his wife.
And he not only found a new dog, but he rescued that new dog from a kill shelter.
Exactly. But then an old foe just couldn't let him be.
Nope.
And gave him one more task to do. And he does said task.
Yes.
And then he gets betrayed by this guy. He makes a vital mistake, which was a big mistake.
Yeah. Which then...
So he has to kill more people, including Common.
He has to kill more people. Well, we don't know for sure if he killed Common or not.
He gave Common the choice of living the rest of his life.
He stabbed Common in the aorta.
So he could have lived the rest of his days with a knife in his aorta.
Well, not necessarily, because he had also done that same thing with the Bowery King, with Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, that's
like back before the movies.
That's right.
And he was able to get it fixed. So Common could have been able to do that. But we don't know.
But yes.
All we know is he left Common on a train with a knife in his chest.
It makes me think of Collateral.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm glad he brought up the Bowery King because the second one expands out that universe, though, right? We get some new characters, including Peter Stormare, who's just really in the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
But then we get the Bowery King, which reunites Keanu with Lawrence Fishburne, and he becomes a very vital figure for the rest of the series, as we'll find out.
Yes.
And then, we get some other people. We have a couple other assassins, and it brings us to Rome, right? So we're not just in the U.S., we're in Rome. We meet a lovely sommelier.
My favorite character in all of the movies. He should have been in more of them.
Right, but it expands out that universe a bit, right? We get to see the Rome Continental. And then finally, though, it ends with John Wick breaking one of the cardinal rules of this League of Assassins and just the entire underworld altogether, right? It introduces us to the concept of the table.
The high table.
Which, the
Not
high
just the
table.
But the high table.
right? And they're the ones that oversee kind of all different syndicates and underworld organizations and this series of hotels where assassins and other mob people, thieves or whatever can go and stay without fear of reprisal.
Hmm.
And one of those is that you can't conduct business on those grounds, right? You're safe there, right? They have a doctor that we met in the first movie that
Hmm.
will help heal you up
Yep.
under the table.
Who is
They
another you know what's the word I'm looking for? Why am I drawing a blank on this word? Reunion. That's the word I'm looking for. Reunion
yes, because he
with
was in the
another.
Matrix
Yes,
Reloaded.
yes, he was. He was the key maker.
He was the key maker, right? And so, but I wonder, no, but the end, John Wick, he is so angry at this guy for betraying him that he kills him on continental ground.
Hmm.
And the movie ends with him being excommunicado.
Well, it ends with
And
him
then, well,
about to
he's
be
about to be,
excommunicado. It ends
he's
with
given
him.
1 hour
Yes,
head start.
he's given 1 hour head start, but before his excommunicado goes into effect.
And that's what ends on how the movie ends. He is running away with the dog,
Meanwhile, everybody's cell phones are
and
going off because there's a bounty on his head that's
right.
about to go live.
What a nice place to end it, right? And so that's where we've been stuck ourselves now
Hmm.
with our series with him for this last year, and wondering what's going to happen in
Yeah.
that 1 hour.
So those of you listening that have waited to watch John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, which, by the way, I don't think we ever said that that's what movie we're talking about right now.
That might be the record for the longest time
It
it's
might
taken
be.
to actually say the movie we've been doing.
It might be. But yes, we are talking about John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. But if you have waited until we've talked about this movie to watch it,
Good for you.
good for you for keeping that cliffhanger for almost a year.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, like good. Yeah, good on you if you haven't watched it. And granted, we had to wait something like 3 years
Yeah.
between movies,
Yeah, something like that.
right? But the series grew in stature within even that 3 years, right? To the point where again, like John Wick became this new movie icon, which is an impressive thing that, considering a wholly original character, right? One of the few great like original action kind of characters of the 21st century, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's other characters that have kind of become icons themselves, right? But they're based off other characters, like Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man,
Yeah.
right? you know, the closest ones I would kind of throw out there, and again, they're also not original because they were very deep cuts in the comics, would be the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Um, but like how do you define those is a little different
Mm-hmm.
because it's again, I mean, those are you had to be a deep nerddom
Yes.
to know who
But
they were.
yeah. But
So
as far as like original characters that are basically defined by an actor,
right, and that's the other
you
part of it
got
too.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones. That was
Yes.
an original character that was personified by Harrison Ford.
He also personified Han Solo.
Han Solo.
You got Sigourney Weaver personifying Ellen Ripley,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got Arnold Schwarzenegger
With the
defining
Terminator.
the Terminator.
Yeah. I mean, all these roles that you really can't see anybody else playing.
John McClane defining I mean, Bruce Willis. He,
Yeah, Bruce Willis defining John McClane. Yeah.
You know, Vin Diesel defining Dominic Toretto.
No, I thought you were going to say Vin Diesel defining Triple X.
Not sure I'd elevate Vin Diesel at all to that other level, but still, in some ways, he kind of is up there in his own unique way. Um,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, yeah, but yeah, the third movie came out in 2019, and it lived up to the promise of the first two movies and more, as we talked about. It just gives us just even more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it goes broader, right? We had really New York and Rome in the second movie, right? We got New York, then New York and Rome. Now going like New York and Casablanca, the desert. That's right.
And back to New York.
Back to New York, right? What's the fourth one going to do?
We'll see.
It goes even bigger.
Yeah.
But you got to wait till next week.
Yeah, wait till next week for that one.
But, and you know what? This movie also just introduces more new characters, right? Angelica Houston joins the cast of characters in this one, right? We have an even deeper dive into this world where we get introduced to an adjudicator. Who is that? Well, you got to listen to the episode to find out if you don't know.
But she's played by Asia Kate Dillon.
Yep. And just more in terms of the general mythology and inner workings of this world, particularly that of the table. Oh yeah, we also get Halle Berry. Halle Berry gets introduced to us in this movie, right?
Yep.
We get Halle Berry in this movie.
We get Mark Dacascos.
Yes.
Which I love his character, by the way.
I love his character too. There's a lot to say about his character. I love his character, and yeah. You
know, we got another Game of Thrones alum in this movie. You know, we got Jerome Flynn.
That's right. We do.
And once again, Lance Reddick reprises his role as Sharon, the concierge.
Ian McShane is obviously back in it again as Winston. Right? And as we mentioned earlier, Lawrence Fishburne is back in this. With a slightly smaller role than what he had in John Wick 2. But it's a very important role that he, again, has. So.
And another actor is in this movie that is also a part of one of the podcasts that we mention fairly frequently. The How Did This Get Made podcast.
Right.
Jason Mantzoukas is in this movie.
Oh, yeah. TikTok man.
TikTok, Mr. Wick.
TikTok.
That's pretty much his only line, and he says it all the time, like over and over in this movie.
Yes, he does. But yeah, it's another wonderful adventure into the world of assassins, and it's quite enjoyable. And yeah, it was received well enough that you had to have a 4. And it was a good thing because the way it ends, you kind of had to have a 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's just not done killing enough people.
Nope. And
enough people have not gotten the idea, the message yet that you should just leave him alone.
Just leave John Wick alone.
Screw the rules. The rules should just be, you know what? They don't apply to John Wick.
Yeah, there should be one rule, and it's don't mess with John Wick. I mean, it's that simple.
If there was a Russian terrorist in this movie, he would be having nightmares about John Wick.
Yes. I mean, there weren't necessarily Russian terrorists in the first John Wick, but there were Russian assassins, and they were having nightmares about John Wick.
It's like when you get, it's like when John Leguizamo calls up about the stolen Mustang. It's like, oh, who stole it? Whose Mustang did
Who'd you steal it from?
Oh, John Wick's. Oh.
Yeah.
And he almost made the right decision. He almost made the right decision to say, you know what? He's just going to have to kill my son.
Mm-hmm.
But he decided to not leave it at that. And thus, we've had 4 movies.
Mm-hmm.
His decision just that, we could have just not had an entire series. We could have had a short little film where Keanu Reeves just avenges the death of a dog.
Yeah.
If, right, not Yusuf, his dad just would have just said, you know what? Kill my son. He's stupid. But no, he didn't. And so thus we had 4 movies, right? It's kind of like the guy
4 wonderful
beginning
movies,
of New Hope.
by the way.
Oh yes, all wonderful movies. But kind of like the guy beginning of New Hope. It's like, oh no, there's no life forms on board.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna blow
we're not gonna waste a laser.
But then we got 3 wonderful movies after that.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on who you talk to, we can discuss the rest of them. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot else to say before we really dive into the movie.
Yes,
we've been a bit. But anyway, go on.
No, I was just going to say, very nice synopsis of the previous 2 movies.
Yes, yeah, I think we had to.
Yes, we have to, because it's been a year. So yeah, we need to have a brief synopsis going into this one.
And it runs straight into the 3rd one.
Yes, it does.
So
yeah, this one picks up. The 3rd one picks up right after the 2nd one, like immediately after.
And I love that this has a actual title to the chapter.
Yes.
The other one was just John Wick Chapter 2. This one is John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then they go back to just Chapter 4 for the next one.
Yes.
But I mean, it fits though with this one having that little subtitle on there.
It really fits because it's also perfect for what happens for the 4th movie, which we'll get to, because that's again, we got to go through this entire movie to really get into that.
Yes, for those that don't know what Parabellum means, it's Latin for prepare for war.
Prepare for war. And really, there's a larger phrase which gets uttered later in the movie. Mm-hmm. We'll bring it up when it happens. Like,
yes,
if you want peace, prepare for war.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the Parabellum, right? Again, if you think about Gone with the Wind, right? Classic movie about the antebellum period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I only kind of think of that because Ted Turner just died, and he was a big fan of Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. Still never seen Gone with the Wind.
The vis pacem Parabellum.
Yes. Sic vis pacem Parabellum.
So, anyway. But yeah, I think I'm ready to get into it when you are.
All right. Let's talk about some John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. As always, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about this entire movie, beginning, middle, and end. So if you have not seen it, you don't want to be spoiled, then pause the podcast, watch the movie, and come back and listen. If you have seen it or you just don't mind being spoiled, keep on listening. But we are going to be spoiling all of the goodness of all of the creative kills in this movie.
Yes. Including, not the there's a lot of creative kills. This movie might have the record also for the most nut shots.
Yeah. Yeah, it might. It might.
Not just guns. There's fists. There's feet. There's knives.
There's dogs.
There's some.
Which, by the way, I love how this entire series. I love the importance that they put on dogs in these movies.
Yes, so do I. I agree with that.
Not even just as the inciting incident for the entire series.
Oh yes, no, I mean,
but just I love how they hold dogs in such high regard in these movies.
Yes, I'm with you.
Those dogs are awesome.
So, but talk about dogs. The movie does start with John Wick running with his dog. Mm-hmm. The dog that he rescued that we mentioned earlier.
The one that he just calls Dog.
Yep. because he has not had time to name this
No,
dog yet.
he just got this dog like 2 days ago. It's like,
And they're already attached to the hip.
yeah.
They have a mutual trust with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
And with Sharon.
yes. Yes, exactly. Yes, this dog instinctively trusts Sharon, as we will discover shortly. And Sharon already loves this dog.
Sharon loves this dog. Like, this is Sharon's favorite dog.
Yes, it is. So, yeah, but they're running, and so we're still within that hour time period that Winston gave to John, right?
Yeah. There's
But
like maybe 10, 15 minutes left in it.
Yeah, and we know we've had the whole smattering of you talked about earlier how when they put a contract, there's like these ladies with these old call boards and switches, and there's running on chalkboards about the different open contracts. So we're getting a view of all that again.
Yeah.
And then we have Winston arriving at the Continental.
And,
Sharon is waiting for him.
And John, real quick,
Winston
John has real quick. John has a $14 million contract on his head.
That's right, $14 million. That's what
$14 million price on his head. Anyway, continue.
And yeah, Winston gets out of a Rolls Royce, right? Because he's classy like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Sharon's there, and they're just talking and about the incident. And Sharon's asking, like, it's like $14 million bounty. Yeah, that's next thing in the car. Like, what do you think his odds are? And Winston's just casual, like, he's got the whole city looking after him. It's such a large contract. Yeah, I'd say the odds are about even.
He knows John Wick.
So while he's running, it's raining, and John Wick decides he's getting somewhere. You can tell he knows exactly where he wants to go, and he's trying to save time, so he gets in a cab. But then the cab gets stuck in this traffic jam, and so we realize quickly that this cab driver is someone that's in the whole underworld, and he gives him a gold coin and says, well, at first he asks him to take him to the New York Public Library.
Mm-hmm.
But he says, oh, change of plan. The New York Continental. Right? And like drop him off at the concierge, make sure he's taken care of. So he leaves the cab. He says goodbye to dog.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then, again, the taxi driver eventually makes it to the Continental. And Sharon is there waiting.
Sharon's there waiting. And the cab driver comes around, opens the door, and dog is sitting there in the seat, and just hops down and goes and greets Sharon. And Sharon takes him inside.
And he's going to get in some food.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, maybe they'll play it with ball down in the gym.
Maybe.
Right? You have a nice little rubber ball he's going to throw against the wall. And,
yeah.
Who knows? It might be a nice time. So.
But we do know that dog is going to be taken care of. Because Sharon is the one watching him. And he is not going to let John Wick down.
He is not going to let John Wick down.
And he is not going to let anything happen to his best friend, dog.
Yes. If anything happened to dog, at first, like, he doesn't want to get hurt by John Wick.
Yeah.
Because he knows what happens.
But also, if anything happened to dog...
for the person that did something to dog.
Yes. Because he would not only have John Wick coming after him, but he'd have Sharon coming after him, too. And later in the movie, we'll see what that looks like. Not that somebody does anything to dog, but we'll see what a team up between the two of them looks like.
He's not just it's not your normal kindly concierge that can recommend and get you reservations at the finest table in the city.
Mm-hmm. The high table. Oh.
Anyway, so John Wick gets to the New York Public Library, and he waits in line, and he goes up to this librarian, and he wants to know where this particular book, this Russian literature book is, right? She tells him where it is, and I can't quite tell if she is also, like a librarian that has the info.
I would imagine
things,
probably,
or if she's just normal kind of stuck-up librarian.
I mean, I would imagine she's probably somewhat involved in all this because everybody else seems to be.
Yes. So she tells him where it is, and he goes off to this floor in these stacks, and he has about 5 minutes left, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and he gets the book. He opens it up, and it's hollowed out book, right? And
Yeah.
he's got some gold coins in there. He's got
He's
a
got a
picture
marker
of Helen
in there.
He's got a marker in
Yeah.
there. Yep. And
He's got a picture of
big,
him and Helen, his wife.
it's a picture of him and Helen, and these large ass rosary beads,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which has more like of kind of the Eastern Orthodox kind of cross on there, as opposed to kind of the traditional Western kind of crucifix you would see on other rosary beads, right? And so he kisses the photo, he puts it back in the book, and he puts it nicely back on the shelf. And then he turns around, and there's this giant ass dude.
He just has pictures of his wife hidden all over the city.
I don't blame him.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, so he hears a voice.
And it quotes Dante.
Yes, his voice that quotes Dante.
And it's this slovenly, tall-looking, giant dude called Ernst.
Mm-hmm.
Played by Boban.
Boban Marjanovic.
And this guy, okay, so he is a basketball player that has occasionally acted.
Yeah.
Right? He is from Serbia.
He is like 7 foot something.
7'4".
7'4".
This is what's crazy to me is so
an inch taller than Peter Mayhew.
He would have been 31 years old when this movie was released. Okay? Maybe 31. He was born in 1988. Dude looks like he's 50 in this movie.
Yeah, he does.
Anyway,
and
John Wick looks at him. He's like, "I still have 2 minutes."
Well, he has a little more than 2 minutes. He's like, I think he said 10 minutes. I still have 10 minutes.
That's right. He's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And he could tell he is trying to give this guy a way out.
He's trying to give him a way out. He's trying to give him a chance to leave.
He knows Ernst.
Mm-hmm.
They're not friends. They're also not frenemies.
Mm-hmm.
They're not enemies either. But you get the sense that in general, John Wick doesn't really like him a whole lot.
Yeah.
And doesn't respect him. But he's still trying to give him a way out.
Give him a chance. And yeah.
Ernst was like, ugh.
He's like, no one will know.
No one's going to know.
And so Ernst attacks him. And John defends himself.
Yeah, he's able to get a good, he gets a knife and he slashes at John. It's kind of, the upper chest towards the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But
sort of stabs him in the shoulder area there. And so John grabs a book. A nice big thick book. And he starts fighting him with the book.
And he starts he pushes him like against one of the stacks, and he just starts hitting him in the head with this thick book. And he starts shoving it into his mouth.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Yeah. He's like sticks in his mouth and he just starts hitting the back of it.
It's like he starts hitting the back. It's like he's got his like hair, so he has him held against the stack, and then he just shoves the book in the guy's mouth and he just starts hitting the back of it, the spine of it, like with his hand.
Yeah.
Right.
And
then finally,
Ernst,
the guy, he sort of kind of stumbles.
Stumbles off and knocks him over a little bit. And so they're still fighting.
He might do after being repeatedly knocked in the head with a book.
Yeah. But Ernst still has some fight in him. So he's still fighting John. And finally, John stands that book up on its end. On a table. And pushes Ernst down so his neck is on the book, on the top of the book. And then he just hits him in the head and breaks his neck over the book.
Yeah. And then Ernst should have known.
Yes, he should have known. He should have known. John gave him a way out. But no, he had to jump the gun.
And he paid for it with his life.
Mm-hmm.
He could have
Mm-hmm.
decided, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to stay in my Soho apartment. I'm going to watch Say Yes to the Dress tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe some Project Runway also.
And you know what? I'll call it early evening after that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, no.
Nope. 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 Nope.
So John Wick still has a few minutes left though, but he has been slashed again, like we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes.
You know what would be funny? If that book was Dante's Inferno.
Yes.
Somebody can call Alanis Morissette and tell her that that would be irony. That would be ironic. Not a black fly in your Chardonnay.
No, no. The only ironic thing about that song is that none of it is ironic.
Well, I mean, the one part about, you know, the guy who waited his whole life to take that flight.
Okay.
That's the one ironic part of that song.
Yes. So he goes up into this, building, right? And again, he's got like 2 minutes left as he gets to this door, right? And it's the doctor we talked about earlier. He was not in John Wick Chapter 2. He was only in the first one. And now he shows up here in John Wick Chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he implores this doctor because he has that gold coin. He's one gold coin.
Yep.
And he gives it to him, right? And he realizes that, he nicked the artery a little bit. So he starts patching him up. And
And
the point
meanwhile,
where
they're watching the time because he's got like 2 minutes.
Yes. And thankfully, this clock he has is timed to the actual clock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they all use atomic clocks, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
So, right. And he's getting down to the last couple stitches, and then it chimes. Right? He's like, I gotta stop John. Right? He's like, okay. He pulls away. Right? And
so John finishes
stitching
himself up.
Off, right? He takes the light in the mirror and he comes around and he just sews the rest of himself up.
Mm-hmm.
Bites off the little stitches.
Yeah, bites off the thread. And then he goes over to the shelf where the doctor has all of the meds.
Right. And he can't quite find exactly what he needs. So the doctor tells him what he needs,
get that one, take one, take one now. Take one every couple hours. And then John
he turns around.
Turns to go and leave, and the doctor has a gun. He pulled a gun out of the drawer. And he hands it to John.
They never believe I stopped on the time. But you did.
Like, yeah, but they'll know I helped you find the meds. And so John's like, okay. And meanwhile, the doctor hands John the gun. And he
sits down back on that chair.
Yeah, and he pulls up his shirt a little bit.
It's like, shoot me here just under my floating rib, but don't hit my large intestine.
And before he can get all that out, he's like, right here, just below my floating rib, but don't hit my... And then John pulls the trigger and shoots him right there below his floating rib. And
he thinks about it's like, no.
One's not enough.
They won't believe just one.
You gotta shoot me again. So he's like, right here. So he goes right above right below his collarbone. And so John just shoots him right there. Yeah. And then thanks the doctor and leaves.
I love the good doctor. Very minor character, but one of my favorites within the series, right? But now time is up. Right? And we've had shots of Winston watching this as well. Right? And so we cut to, John Wick, he's fleeing, and all of a sudden, we see this gang of 4 or 5 at first. They see him and they chase him through different alleyways, and he goes to like this little kind of like laundromat, He gets up in this building, and then he locks this door, right? And you're looking like this thing has a whole array of display cases and guns and knives and other weaponry, right? And he has a little bit of time because he was able to flee fast enough. He's locked the door, and he is. We found out that he's quite the gunsmith himself.
Yes. So yeah, so he's pulling out all these different guns from the case, and he's taking them apart and like just creating a hybrid gun, basically.
Yes.
Creating an amalgamation of all these different guns. You know, taking the cylinder from one, the frame from another, the barrel from another. You know, and he's just so he could get this one bullet to fit.
Yep. There's one bullet. What I love about this too, though, is like why is it? I mean, it really shows like how skilled he is.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things we haven't talked about a lot is like the music in this series is amazing, right? And
Yes,
the music
it is.
they're doing here is like this kind of like neo-Western music.
Mm-hmm.
And I love as soon as he finally gets the gun, he gets it right, and he hears
it's
a gun.
a 6-shooter that he's putting together.
Yep. And it has this kind of cool little guitar twang as he does like June June, right?
And
that's
he
when
very carefully picks the gun up, and he starts to cock the hammer real slowly so he can hear all the clicks to make sure it's all put together right. And then the door opens up. He drops that round in the cylinder, spins it,
shoots the guy
like So he spins the cylinder. There's one bullet that he puts in this thing. He spins it Russian roulette style, and then just shoots him. Then just shoots the guy walking in the door.
Yep. And then everybody else goes in. Poor guy, don't be the first one in when you're trying to go on John Wick.
No.
He must be the rookie. But yeah, so we they follow him into this room, and on either side of this room there's these display cases of hatchets and knives and throwing stars and all other types of blades.
Yeah.
And so what I love is like they spent like a good 60 seconds to 2 minutes showing him make a gun to fit the specific bullet. One bullet.
Yeah. He fires that one bullet, then he just drops the gun and runs in the next room.
And then the entire set piece is not about that gun. It's a knife fight.
It's a knife fight. And not just like slashing at each other. It's a throwing knife fight. They're breaking these cases, these glass cases, and they're pulling knives out,
throwing each other into
each
the
other.
cases, and then picking up stuff, throwing it at each other.
And what I love about this is, so most movies, when you have somebody throwing a knife, it's always a perfect throw. It always sticks in them. Everything. This one, about half the knives don't even stick. Like the handle hits them.
Handle hits them.
It
goes a little wide.
It's not perfect throws.
Right.
Several of them
Maybe
do
it kind of
stick.
hits, but kind of hits really more like bone, so it can't really stick in there, right?
But yeah, so they're just throwing these knives at each other, and they're starting to look like pincushions, but they're still coming at each other.
I love the one guy, he's able to kind of get more like close contact, and he kind of stabs him, and then he kind of turns around as one of the other guy's buddies is throwing knives at him, and so he's just letting that guy become a pincushion, and you're just seeing like 5 or 6 knives just stuck in this guy's back, right? We get a shot there also where like John Wick is on the ground. He's kind of spread eagle. As one guy tries to throw a hatchet at him. It almost gets him the balls, but stops just short, right? But then we get this again. We talked about nut shots in this movie. We get one where John Wick does get an axe, and he just splits a guy.
He splits a guy's crotch right in half. Yeah. And then, it goes down to there's one guy left, and he's got knives all over, like stuck in him all over.
Well, there's the one guy that he shoves a little blade in through his eye.
Oh, yes, he does. He stabs a guy in the eye.
Yeah, this is the one guy, the last guy left, like you're talking about.
He's sort of slumped over, like he's
He's just slumped over against
laying
this
down
display
against
case.
this display case, and he's not coming after John. He's not.
No.
He's just laying there, unable to move. Really, he just turns his head toward John, and John just throws his hatchet from across the room and sticks right into the guy's head, and he drops.
Yep.
So John gets up and he leaves that building, and he goes to the stable.
Yeah, because there's more people chasing after him. So he goes to a stable. It's like
A stable right in the middle of the city.
Horses for Central Park,
Yeah.
or the horses, the cops' horses, whatever. It's a stable.
Yeah, stable right in the middle of New York City.
There's still people chasing him.
And so he goes in there, and there's people chasing him, and there's a horse.
Yep.
And so he decides that he's going to use this horse as a weapon.
No people.
And so when people are coming at him, he goes to one side of the horse and he smacks the horse's butt, and it kicks. It
Perfect
kicks the
shot,
dude
just
right in the head.
right in the head. There's two guys he does this to. And then finally, the third one, like he wraps this rope around the guy's neck and attaches it to the horse.
Mm-hmm. And then he hops
Gets
on the
up
horse.
Smacks it in the butt,
And
and he just drags
horse
this
takes
guy.
off. He rides his horse out of the stable and dragging the guy, and the guy hits some crates and barrels and stuff, and smacks into the wall of the stable as John Wick leaves on the horse. And so he's riding this horse through the streets, and there are people on motorcycles. There's a guy on a motorcycle chasing him.
It's so cool. This movie has a motorcycle chase with a horse in the middle of New York at night.
Yes. And so this guy rides up next to John, and he's got a gun. So John sort of, he slides over, and he's hanging on the side of this horse. So the guy can't see him. There's a horse blocking him. And John pulls out his gun and puts it in front of the horse and shoots the guy. And then, climbs back up in the saddle.
There's still other guys trying to get at him, and again, he either shoots them or rams them off the road because they're motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to hit them, and they go somersaulting off, right? And he eventually is able to escape from all of these guys. Okay, I love the Wikipedia entry for this. Like, we spent a nice time talking about this. They have a nice, concise summary, if that's more of your liking. Upon leaving, he is quickly pursued by various gangs of assassins, all of whom he kills. Short, sweet, but you know what? I like talking about it. So, yeah. So we stick with John first. We don't go back to the Continental yet. We stick with John, right? So we see where he is headed is this theater, right? And we can tell there is an Eastern European lady working the ticket stand of it. It's the classic theater where you have the rounded ticket booth outside, and they speak through, right? And she said, "Sorry, we're closed," right? And then he holds up that rosary. He's like, "I have a ticket." And then, he's allowed in. And we see that there is on this stage this girl practicing ballet.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, several people practice. No, it's not.
Well, no, it's just the one. It's just the one girl.
One?
Yeah, just the one girl.
And and Angelica Houston is watching her, and you can tell she is serious. She is demanding.
The girl, she falls over, and Angelica Houston says, "Again." So she gets back up, and you can tell this girl is in pain. She's been doing this for a long time.
Yes, she just is ready to be done, right? And we never get Angelica Houston's name in this. We just know that she's the director, and she leads the Ruska Roma, right? And she is decides to, grant she decides she will grant an audience to John Wick. She doesn't have to because he is excommunicado after
Yeah,
all,
maybe she even mentions that. She's like, "You're excommunicado. You can't be here."
right?
And
And I love how like
John,
when they're walking,
he pulls out that rosary. He's like, "I have a ticket."
I have a ticket. It's like, but no, we don't need to honor that. You get,
He's like,
it's like
"I am
I am
owed."
family. I am owed. Like it's like you were an orphan, right? So we're getting some actual backstory to
Mm-hmm.
John Wick now
Yeah,
in this, right? You could tell like he is Eastern European origin, that he was an orphan that was taken in by
he was part of
the
this.
Ruska Roma,
Yeah, the Risker
and
Roma from Belarus, and
right, and and then she decides she'll agrees that they will tear his ticket, right? Which essentially means like giving him safe passage.
yeah,
But like she says she warns him about it also, right? So as they're doing this, they're walking through other areas of this theater, and you're seeing these boys wrestling. Like you can see, like it's late at night, and they're doing some intense training.
mm-hmm.
And it's probably something like 1 o'clock
Yeah,
in the morning,
yeah. And
right?
as they're walking by, they see these guys, doing martial arts training and stuff, and doing judo. I guess is what they're doing there, or it looks like judo or jujitsu. But yeah, as they're
So
walking by, Angelica Houston is like, "Remind you of your childhood."
I love her character. Like she gets like two kind of shortish scenes, but she's such a great actress, and she's so like perfect for the role,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
right?
she's
And so
great in this movie.
they go back into this like back room, right? And you can tell there's other members there, and this one guy with all these he's got these piercings and face tats. He looks intense, right? And they have a fire going in there. He gets a poker, right? And they have their symbol on there, right? And they give John something to bite down on, right? They rip open the top part of the back of his shirt, and she just tells him, like, with this, your ticket is torn, right? And they just
They
brand him,
brand him.
right? And now, she's okay, okay. It's like, yeah, all right, they'll help you, they'll prepare you for your journey. Right? He wants to go to Casablanca, that's where he's
Yes, he
going,
wants to go to Casablanca.
because he wants to meet Humphrey Bogart. Because he
Yes.
hears he has a cool bar there,
Mm-hmm.
and he hides people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does.
Why wouldn't he go there?
Yeah.
Right? So I don't blame him. Anyway, so
He wants this
we
to
kind
be the start of a beautiful friendship.
so we stop a little bit with John Wick for right now, though, right? We gotta go back to the Continental.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, Winston rolls up in a Rolls Royce. Next thing we see a car roll up, and it's a Mercedes. So say it's a Mercedes, whoever's gonna get out of that car is not gonna be very likable.
Yeah.
That's how it always
Yeah.
works in movies.
Yep.
You drive a Mercedes, you're probably not a likable character.
Yeah. That's accurate.
And so she walks up to Sharon, and she puts a different type of coin down. And he looks at it. He's like, oh boy.
Yep.
You can tell by the look of his face, this is not good.
Yeah.
So he called, it's
But
like, I want to speak with the manager. It's like, of course. And he calls Winston. It's like, sir, there's an adjudicator here to see you. And at this point, like, Winston's like, oh boy. And his face too is like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so Sharon tells her where she can find the manager, Winston. Right. And he is down actually in the basement. Right. Oh, no, he's not in the basement yet. They meet somewhere else. They meet in one of the lounges that he has. And I'm here to judge you. Right. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
a member of the High Table was killed on your grounds. Right. And before we get to that, as we said earlier, the adjudicator is played by Asia Kate Dillon.
Yep.
Right. And she's just got this very serious look on her. She wears one long dangling earring, right? And she looks very pale, almost not quite ghost-like, but
Yeah, very pale.
yeah. So it's like, she's like, oh, I want to see where, where it happened. So I want to see where it happened. It's like where you didn't kill John Wick. It's like I was under the impression that I, didn't have to kill him. I made him excommunicado,
And she's like, but
right?
you gave him an hour head start.
It's like, oh, okay.
It's like, this is my hotel. I can do what I want. And I can handle excommunicado how I want when they happen in
Right?
my hotel.
He takes her down to see the body. She looks at it, and they continue this conversation. And she just finally tells him, I'm gonna be room 217, and you have 1 week to get your affairs in order, and then we'll see about you keeping your hotel. Remember, like we all have there are rules for a reason, right? He's like, yeah, they keep us from
Mm-hmm.
the animals, right? He's like, yeah. It's like, well, enjoy your week at the Continental, right? And we can discover that she will spend that week in various ways, but we can get to that in a little
Yeah.
bit because we have to cut back to John. He makes it to Casablanca.
Mixed Casablanca. And right away, he gets attacked. But then he's defended by some guys that are going to take him to the Casablanca Continental.
Yep.
They were sent to protect him
Yes.
by the manager of the Casablanca Continental, who we will
One of the
meet in a minute.
guys kind of feels like he gets second thoughts about this and then tries to attack John. And then other guy shoots that guy.
The other guy shoots that guy.
Right?
So then he takes John to the manager, and the manager is none other than Halle Berry.
Who knew Halle Berry would rise so high in the world to be the director of a Continental?
Yes. So she plays Sophia. Not Estelle Getty's character in Golden Girls.
No.
Although I could could see Estelle Getty being the manager of a Continental.
Remember, like Sylvester Stallone told us to stop or she would shoot.
Yes. What if the Golden Palace is a Continental?
Right. And anyway, you can tell there's a history between these two. And you can tell there's is a deep respect that she has for John, but she's none too happy with him. Not just because he's showing up there excommunicado and what that could mean, right? There's definitely a whole web of things where she is holding some serious grudges against him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But remember, as we said a little bit earlier, he has a marker.
Yes. And he pulls it
his
out.
Marker
like,
is
don't you dare pull that out.
Don't you? It's like he's like, like this is like your word, right? He doesn't go into it the way that Santino did back in John Wick 2. He doesn't manipulate her in the way that he was, right? But he implores to the better side of her nature, right? And so what we find out is that he helped her daughter get far away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she would be free from this entire web of bad stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And you ask her, like, do you want to know where she is? It's like, if I found out where she was, I would have to kill myself because that information would be too dangerous because right?
I can't know where she is.
I can't know where she is because I would try to find her and then that puts her in danger, right? And then so she reluctantly agrees. She puts her he puts his no, it doesn't do it yet because her task has to be completed, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, and she's like, once this is done, we will be very far from even still, right? Because again, he's inviting a lot of danger to her, right? But all he's really looking for is really one specific piece of information. He is looking, excuse me, he is looking to speak with somebody called the Elder. And the Elder is someone that sits above the table.
Mm-hmm.
There's the table, but the one that sits above the table,
Yep.
right?
Yep. The Elder.
And he is, his idea is either, he's going to try to convince him just to lift all of it, allow him to have a happy life again. Not a happy life again, but no, where not one where he doesn't have to keep running away from everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Sophia doesn't know where he is. He knows that he's like in North Africa, but she knows the guy that knows where the Elder will be.
Yes. So she takes him to him. This is Jerome Flynn.
As Barada,
And
right?
also, what we didn't mention is Sophia has 2 dogs.
Yes, 2 dogs.
And
They go with her.
yes, they go with, and
They're not German Shepherds. They're Belgian Mulattoes.
mm-hmm.
I'm probably pronouncing that last word slightly incorrectly, but they're like German Shepherds. They look like German Shepherds, but they're a little bit leaner but more aggressive than
and shorter hair than German Shepherds.
Shepherds, right? Like a German Shepherd, like it could be, it's used by cops, right? For good reason. But it's also could be a good family dog. Like these, I wouldn't quite. They could be a little bit more aggressive, right? Anyway, but they're the good guard dogs, right? So they go with them, and they meet Barada, and Barada has a club, and he's at the top of his club, and they're having a nice conversation at first, right? But Barada was just saying, well, if you want to find you don't really, it's not easy to go just find the owner, right? You gotta go to the desert and walk as far as you can until you get tired, and you pass out, and then he will find you. That's what he tells him, right? And you can tell that he could allow them to, he could just kill them on the spot, but he allows them at first just that's going to be it. But then he decides he needs payment for this information.
Yes.
And he is really eyeing one of the dogs.
And so
right?
he...
Well, I think I'll take it.
Yeah. Because, Sophia allowed him to pet one of the dogs. He's like, I think I'll keep this dog. And Sophia's like, no, you're not taking my dog. And so he shoots the dog.
Yep.
And then Sophia, drops down on the ground and checks on the dog. And luckily, both of these dogs are wearing bulletproof vests.
Yes.
And so she finds the bullet stuck in the vest. And so the dog is fine. I'm sure it's, in pain from, the force of getting shot in the vest.
Got shot.
But the bullet did not actually get through the vest.
This ended up being a very bad idea by Barada.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because John looks down and he sees that Sophia has a gun. And he tries to tell her, don't do it. But Barada just tried to kill her dog.
See, and he's saying this, he's like, says like, this won't end if you try to kill her. Kill like I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm here. I want to be back on Long Island or
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey,
In New Jersey.
sitting on my couch eating corn pops in my underwear.
Yeah. But I can't do that because some recent member of the high table blew up my house.
Along with my entire Chuck Norris collection.
Well, the Chuck Norris collection is fine. It survived the explosion because it's Chuck Norris.
Oh, yeah, it's a Chuck Norris. Yes.
It's a Chuck Norris
But he
collection.
can't watch it right now.
No, he has no TV.
So, but then she decides she can't leave it there. And she calls on the dogs to attack. Right? And this is where we get the dog chomping down on
Mm-hmm. The dog chomps down on Barada's crotch.
And it's not letting go. It's
No,
locked on.
It's locked on. And so they get into a gunfight.
Yep.
With Barada's guys.
Yeah, they're advancing down levels. They get everybody up on that rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And again, we're getting all sorts of gunplay. Here, this is all gunplay. Well, gunplay and dog bites.
Yes, gunplay and dog bites. Because after that dog finally lets go of Barada, there's just the front. He's wearing white pants. He should have worn red pants. Because his white pants become red pants from the crotch.
Looks like he's on his period.
Yeah. So
he's somehow not passed out. Having a dog just basically, bite, eat his junk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He should be bleeding profusely from his crotch.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. But yeah, so his other guys go after them, right? And we're just having both Halle Berry and John Wick just shooting everybody that comes at them, right? Occasionally they get caught in a corner and the dog comes up right there and just starts mauling one of the guys.
Yeah. Like this whole time, so while Sophia is shooting people, while Sophia and John are shooting people, Sophia is just yelling commands at these dogs. And they're just charging at these other guys. They're, somebody's about to shoot John and a dog mauls him. Right? Or there's these guys hiding behind a wall and the dogs just jump over the wall and attack them.
Right? I love it. I love how there's those little these steep stairways
Mm-hmm.
on the outside of this place. So then they just scamper up the stairwell and then they leap off the other side of it and then just land on some other guy and just maul him.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So they get outside to the car. And they get in the car. And the dogs are still behind. And so Sophia calls for them. And they jump in the car and they drive off.
Right? So they drive off. So we kind of cut back to New York at this time. Right? And we have a meeting between the adjudicator and the Bowery King. Right? And she says she's, here to say he has to abdicate his throne, right? Mm-hmm. Much like Winston has to abdicate the continent. Similar conversation. It's like I was under the impression that I didn't have to, that contracts were optional. It's yes, but you did give him a gun. So here's the interesting thing, right? Yeah. So as you dive deeper into the high table, you begin to realize a lot of the rules really are just bullshit.
Yeah.
They talk about these rules, but they don't necessarily apply to them, right? So here's the thing, right? So, right, all of the Bowery King's aid to John Wick happened before killing Santonio.
At the Continental before.
So
killing,
right, him giving John a gun was perfectly legal because he was not excommunicado,
No, he was not.
right?
He didn't
And
know
so,
that he was going to kill him at the Continental.
right? She's
Now,
like,
the thing is that the reason why she's coming after him is because she gave him a Kimber 1911 and then pulls out the Kimber 1911.
yeah, it's like
Like
this Kimber 1911.
With the intention of using it to kill a member of the High Table.
Yes.
So
But here's the thing.
That's what it was. It was that he was going to kill the High Table, and
But
it
here's the
wasn't
thing.
even that it was going to be at the Continental.
Blew up John Wick's house, so John Wick would kill a member of the High Table.
Yes.
So he could sit at the High Table.
Yes.
High Table should have been coming after Santonio in the first place.
Yes, they should have been coming after Santino, but they weren't because Santino had John as a scapegoat.
So,
anyway, yeah. So,
and I love how
they're on the roof of the building.
He's got his pigeons.
Yeah, his carrier pigeons.
And he's talking like these are, there's no IP addresses, right?
Yeah, this is the internet.
You can't trace this,
but it's untraceable.
It's like what about the Z's? It's like I wouldn't
recommend
you eat one of them.
I love that. Wouldn't recommend you eat one.
Lawrence Fishburne's so great.
But so she's like, you give John Wick 7 bullets, so I'm going to give you 7 days to get your affairs in order and abdicate your throne.
Right. And during this time, right, after this, she goes to this, it's somewhere in the city and it's raining, and she goes up to this kind of little
sushi
outside sushi stand.
And we got Mark Dacascos playing Zero here.
He looks like he is the chef at the sushi stand. And she hires him, right?
Well, she sits down and he goes to talk to her, and he's speaking Japanese.
Yep.
And then she starts just speaking English to him, saying that she has a job for him. And then he switches to English.
And he picks up a piece of fish.
And she tells him that, she wants him to go after John Wick.
That's right.
And so there's a puffer fish on a little cutting board. And he pulls that up and he starts cutting it up. And he's like, puffer fish. It is extremely deadly. And he hands it to her. She picks it up, pops it in her mouth, and swallows. And then he's like, I'll take the job. When he sees that she did that without even hesitating.
Yep.
When pufferfish is a very, very difficult fish to prepare correctly. It has
to be prepared correctly, yes.
Otherwise, it is very toxic.
Mm-hmm. Which is why, as much as I might go to Wickman's and get a tuna roll, I would not get a pufferfish roll at Wickman's.
Yeah, not from Wegmans. I mean, nothing against Wegmans, but
I love their normal sushi. It's good sushi for the price.
But I doubt that their sushi chefs are knowledgeable
to the level
to properly prepare pufferfish.
Which is why you spend a lot of money if you actually want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so before we come back to John, we'll focus in on Zero and his gang, right? Yeah. So first she sends them to the rescue room, right? They need to send a message to the director, right? And she's back there training with the ballerina again. And they come in and they start killing certain people, some of the security guards, rather easily. Yeah, to be honest, really easily.
Yeah, I mean, he's Zero. He's basically got a bunch of ninjas with him, his students.
They end up killing about half a dozen of the security guards in this place before they end up coming through the shadows.
And they're doing it all silently.
Yeah.
They've got swords and whatnot, and they're slicing them all up real quietly.
But they're jumping around, just not making noise at all.
And they come up behind
The ballerina.
Yeah, well, some of them come up behind the ballerina
Three
on
or
the
four that come to the
stage,
ballerina on the stage,
and
and
then
like she finally sees it. She asks him to stop,
yeah, then
right?
Zero comes up
And
behind Angelica Houston.
with the adjudicator,
Yeah,
and it's like, you gave him safe passage. It's like, you've been judged, right?
and she
And
she
so
says the same thing that the Bowery King said, which we did not mention. To she says,
I have
"I have
served.
served. I will be of service."
Right?
And yeah, I mean that was what the Bowery King's response was when she said, when she told him that he did wrong by helping John Wick and that he can't help him again. And so Angelica Houston says the same thing. I have served. I will be of service. And the adjudicator tells her to put her hands out.
Yep. She has her hands,
So she puts her
almost
hands
like
together,
hands.
and puts them out in front of her.
The fingers aren't crossed, right? The fingers are just straight
fingers
out.
are straight out. And Zero takes his sword and he just stabs her right through the hands. And then pulls the sword out. And so now it's like she's got stigmata. She's got holes in each of her hands.
She's St. Francis. So, right. And I know this is not the exact scene after, but this happens before we see John getting back to New York. We follow Zero and them again also.
Which, I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, why didn't they do that to the Bowery King?
Well, they get back to the Bowery. Yeah, the Bowery King's punishment is different.
Yeah, his
right?
punishment is different.
They dispatch some of his men, right? Again, like pretty like even before they gave him the option. So like it was slightly different because like she did something afterwards, right? When he was already excommunicado. They kill his men. They kill his men even before they finally give him that final choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you gonna, advocate your throne or not?
Yeah.
Right? They already killed some of him even before that, which is not really a smart move.
No.
If they want him to really get on board.
Yeah.
But they kill about half a dozen of his guys. And he's up there and he kind of smiles. And it's like it's one of those like sun showers, right? The sun's kind of out, but it's raining a bit. And they come up and he just smiles. Right? And I love Lawrence Fishburne in this scene because it's like he's like, you can come off that high table and go fuck yourself. Guess that's his answer.
Yep. So, since he had given John 7 bullets and she had given him 7 days and he was not abdicating his throne at the end of the 7 days, then she decides that he's going to get 7 cuts.
Yep.
And so
he tells his little bird that he's holding, he's like, don't watch. And he lets it fly off. He's like, long live the king.
And then Zero pulls his sword out and just starts slicing really quick.
Yeah.
He just really quick, just throws seven cuts all over Lawrence Fishburne. And then
he gets almost a more extreme punishment, even though, like, once again, everything he did was actually perfectly legal or perfectly within the rules.
Yeah. Yeah. Except for the whole, giving a guy a weapon that the intention, which he knew was the intention, was to go after a member of the high table.
Telling an official of the high table to go fuck themselves.
That too.
Telling the high table to go fuck themselves.
Yeah. So, Zero does his 7 cuts on the Bowery King. The Bowery King drops to his knees and falls on his face.
Yeah. So, we're done with New York and everything that's been happening in New York for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Cut back to John Wick. He's still out in Africa there. Right? Humphrey Bogart's not there like we talked about.
Nope.
But he's still Sophia is there, right? And they're in the car, and she drops him off in the desert in the Sahara,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's a water bottle. She takes most of what's left of it, gives him who has basically just one little drop that he can drink,
Yep.
and sends him all on his way. She leaves, right? He keeps walking. He keeps walking.
He's
He keeps
walking over these sand
He
dunes.
eventually comes across the three amigos
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because now they after they finish defending Santa Poco, there was a small little tribe within the Sahara
Mm-hmm.
that needed their help,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To defend themselves from the evil, the murderous, the infamous
The infamous
Ahmed,
Ahmed, yes.
who is gonna, rape the camels
And ride off on the women.
and prune the palm trees
In
and
the
many
oasis.
small oases. Anyway, no,
No, so he is walking and he finally collapses. And he wakes up. He has been brought to a tent out in the middle of the desert.
I love those are just a tent in the middle of the desert.
There's just a rug that's down on the sand and tent poles and a canopy over them.
This is a serious tent.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you start looking into it, right?
Yeah.
They got incense going once he explores further into this tent. Like, is this a mobile tent? Like how, like it was the mobile tabernacle with the Israelites? Right? They just move it along whenever it's needed. And like the elder is just moving along to random places in the desert.
So John is brought in there and we see the elder played by I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher his name. But Saeed Tagmaoui.
Good job.
And he is just sitting on some cushions. Like he's got like these big cushions that make up a chair, and he's sitting in there. And John is on his knees.
By the way, if you've seen The Rise of Cobra or
Wonder Woman,
he was in that.
Mm-hmm.
Also in Three Kings, if you want to go even further back. Anyway, he's just sitting there, like you said.
He's just sitting there, and John...
He was also in Hidalgo. He was in Hidalgo with...
And what's funny...
Aragorn.
Well, yeah. What's funny is when you were talking about the Three Amigos, I almost mentioned Hidalgo. Because that actually did take place out in this area of the world.
That's true.
It may not have been the African desert, but...
Oh, by the way, he also was, since we were talking about this a couple weeks ago with Frequency, Lost, he plays Caesar in the sixth season of fifth season of Lost. Fifth season of Lost.
Yes,
anyway,
he does.
So, but yeah, he's sitting there and he's in his robes and he's acting all high and mighty and arrogant. And he's just kind of wondering why is John Wick here?
Yeah, why is John Wick here? You were out. You were free and clear, but you had to come back in.
And he's like, he wants to get and then John Wick's like, he wants to have a chance to, he wants everything settled. It's like, well, no, you just can't do that. Like to do that, you will have to serve us, the high table.
Mm-hmm. It's like,
right?
Which means you can never be out of this life again.
And and then would that be something that your woman would really want, is for you to even serve us in the first place? So you can even just have a happier death and just die. And still have that memory of her love. And she'd be happy with you. Or serve us. Right?
And so John decides that he will serve the high table. And that requires an offering. In order for John to accept the to accept the elder's offer to have the excommunicado reversed and the price on his head to be taken away, it requires an offering from John. So John...
Three hairs from his head?
No. If only it were that simple. No. They bring out this little table and a chisel. And John puts his left hand on that table. He takes that chisel and he slams it down on his ring finger just behind his wedding ring. And he cuts off his finger with that chisel. And then
he picks up the ring.
Picks up the finger.
As he picks up the finger, takes off the ring.
Takes the ring off and hands the ring to the elder. Hands his wedding ring to the elder. Why couldn't he just take the ring off of his finger while it was still attached to his body?
I don't know.
Because if all the elder was wanting was the ring...
He's not that fat. It's not like he can't pull it off anymore.
Especially since when he picks up the finger, he pulls the ring off of the way that you would pull it off of your finger if it was attached to your hand.
That's right. It's not like he
doesn't try to take it off the back of it. But, I mean, I get the symbolism there.
Yes.
He cuts off his ring finger because that's where the wedding ring goes. The attachment that's not the life of an assassin. He's giving up all future of being able to have a normal life.
That's right. I love how the elder just casually puts it in his little pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gives him an assignment. He needs to kill the man that they call Winston.
Yes, he needs to kill the man that they call Winston, the manager of the New York Continental.
And then John says, I have served. I will be of service. And then he says, okay,
and he says, yes, but the elder also says, until you do this, all of the assassins will still be after you. The excommunicado will not be lifted until you kill Winston.
Until you've completed this task.
But once you complete the task, excommunicado will be gone. It will be lifted. It will be reversed. The contract will be gone. And you can go on the rest of your days serving the high table.
That's right. So John agrees. The elder tells him, Hakeem will show you and help you get ready. Right? And he takes him to the back of this tent in another little area. And there's a nice hot bath waiting for him. There's a full tub with iron heels, feet on it. And there's there's little steam pots all around it.
Like they're giving him a spa treatment.
Man, this looks like I want this bath.
Yes. It might be tempting. It might be tempting to cut my own finger off so I can have this bath.
That's what I'm saying. I am almost tempted to go to the high table. Can I get that bath? What do I need to do to get that bath? I don't need to even do. I don't care about doing.
And here's the thing, too. Is this the same tent or is this another tent?
Right.
Because it's still a big fancy tent. This one is actually enclosed on all sides.
I mean, it's also got a little spot where they have his suit hanging up for him.
A brand new suit.
Brand new armor plated.
Yes, brand new bulletproof suit.
The more I think about it, oh, yeah. I might get him my finger.
So then we have John back in New York.
Yep. And he arrives at Grand Central Station. Last time we were at Grand Central Station, we were with Robin Williams, Amanda Plummer, and Jeff Bridges.
And a bunch of dancing people.
They were doing the waltz.
A bunch of people waltzing through Grand Central Station.
But here instead, as he is getting off the train, before he gets to the main hall, we see these two or three other assassins.
They do some dancing.
Yes.
But it's a different type of dancing. It's not the waltz.
We'll get to that. Right? Because there's, again, he's coming down towards the main grand hall, and these two assassins are about to kill him. But then some of Zero's men come up and kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Because Zero's not going to let other people get it on him.
Zero's not going to let other people do it.
And as we find out, Zero has huge respect for John Wick.
Oh, he has more than just respect. He's got a freaking man crush on John Wick.
Right? And so these guys take him into the hall. Like, see that guy over there, that bald dude? He's got a man crush on him. They tell John Wick to go over there, right? So John Wick kind of reluctantly agrees, and they're about to meet up. But when comes this whole string of kids that separates them. Right?
They're all doing the whole. They're doing the whole. They're on a field trip, and the teacher walks in front of them, and all the kids are holding hands with each other in this line, so they don't get lost.
And they go, hands across
America! So
they have a little conversation, and then one of his little henchmen comes to his
Zero's
side.
like, see, this is the difference between you and me. I wouldn't have stopped with the kids.
And so then after he says that little henchman, one of the henchmen that was on his side, appears on the other side of John. Right? And then John quickly just slashes him 3 times.
Yep.
Just drops
him.
It's like, he with you? He was.
He was, yeah. And so they're talking a little bit more.
These kids are still going across.
Mm-hmm. None the wiser. The guy was just killed right next to him. And then once the kids leave, once the kids get past, then this small group of people walks between them. And John and Zero are making eye contact. And then as this small crowd of people walks by, then John is nowhere to be seen. He disappeared with this small group of people. And Zero's impressed. And so...
Very impressed. John leaves Grand Central Station. But there are still assassins waiting for him on the outside.
There are a couple of motorcycle assassins that attack him in the parking garage.
Yep. And so now we have another chase of motorcycles.
So he takes the two out that are there that come at him. He takes the 2 of them out as Zero is coming into the parking garage behind him. And so John grabs one of those motorcycles that's now vacant without a rider, and he rides off. And so Zero takes the other motorcycle as Zero's men are all on motorcycles, and they chase John. And so they have a motorcycle chase through New York.
They get in under one of the elevated train sections of New York, of their subway, of their metro system, right? And there's this car under it, and so like some of these guys are crashing cars, bumping some of them into the car, falling off, and he shot them in the head still, like he did with the horse earlier, right?
And eventually, it's just John and Zero left.
Mm-hmm.
John has taken out all the rest of Zero's guys, or they took each other out accidentally.
To the Continental.
And so he gets to the Continental, and he's running, and he falls. And he reaches up his hand, and he puts his hand on the front step of the Continental,
put it the front
right
step
as Zero comes to him, and Sharon is standing in the doorway.
He's like, "Put your gun away, sir." He's like, he's excommunicado. It's like, you're still not going to conduct any business on Continental grounds unless you want to become excommunicado yourself. And
so Zero puts his gun away, and they all go inside. And Sharon...
they're sitting down in the lounge right now.
Sharon directs them to the lounge, and so John goes and sits down at the end of the couch. And Zero sits down right next to him. It's a couch. Right, it's a couch. Yeah. So there's 3 seats on this couch for normal-sized adults. 3 seats. John is sitting on one end of it, and Zero comes and sits right up against him, right next to him.
He looks over. I was like, I'm a
He's
big
like,
fan.
I'm a big fan.
Like, hey, like Zero, I'm a big fan too. But
And so John stands up and he goes and sits in the chair that's sort of at a 90-degree angle to the couch. And so Zero
like,
just continues to
like,
fanboy over him.
It's like we're a lot alike.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that cool? And John Woo was like, we're nothing alike. What are you talking about?
And then Sharon brings Dog in. And
like,
Dog comes running up. Is that the dog?
Cool. Well, I'm actually more of a cat person myself.
That's why John Wick doesn't like him. Yeah, so Dog comes up and greets John.
Yep. And then, Sharon tells him, like, the manager is waiting you in the, executive lounge. Right? And so they go off. He goes off. They go off. I guess he does go off with Sharon, but Zero stays there in the main lounge, on the lobby level, right? And John gets up there.
So yeah,
it's kind of this
John,
really
cool room. It's like glass everything.
Yeah, there's crystal skulls. Some
there's a couple levels to this lounge.
Yes,
and it's all glass.
All the staircases are
like
glass.
Everything glass. And Winston explains this as this is our
we use this on
special occasions when you have to be able to see everything.
See, so you know what's under the table.
Yeah.
Right? Under the table.
What's under the table.
I mean, it's even cool. You can even see, like, it's like it's like full glass windows. Here, right?
And on the wall, behind the desk where Winston's sitting, it's this big screen that's just showing this pattern.
Yep. Very cool.
Just like this wave pattern that's kind of just flowing there. But
and so they start to have a conversation. And
Winston's like, "You're here to kill me, aren't you?"
Yeah, he picks up like, "You're here to
yes.
kill me." It's like, "I have served. I will be of service."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, they took your finger, right? And it's like, they're talking about this, and he's like, "But you're having second thoughts." And John's like, "Yes." It's like, if you kill me, you'll never be free. What would Helen think about that? Right? He's kind of imploring almost the same conversation the elder had, but doing it more in a manner of how a friend might talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, "Oh, you could just kill me too." Right? And they start talking about rules again. Right? And kind of a different perspective about what the rules might actually mean.
He hands John a gun. Like the gun that he's holding, he hands it to John. And he's like, "Well, if you're here to kill me, then kill me."
But they're saying, like, he starts talking about, like, there's something bigger than the high table's rules. Right? Their order, right?
Yeah, there's the bro code.
Yes, there is the bro code. Right? So they're starting to wrap up this. They're still in the midst of this conversation when the adjudicator walks in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And she's like, it's like, I gave you 7 days. She says, "Once I give you 7 days, will you be abdicating your position?"
Well, before the adjudicator comes in, then Winston is like, "You're not going to kill me, are you?" And John says, "I don't think so. Or I guess not." Something like that. Yeah. And he hands him back the gun. And then the adjudicator comes in.
And she asks, "Winston, you're not going to abdicate your throne or your position?" He's like, "I don't think I will."
Yeah, that's what
And
it was, because he said the same thing John said. I don't think I
yeah.
will.
And she looks at she looks at John and she asks, like, "Are you going to kill him?" And he just repeats it again, like,
Mm-hmm.
"I don't think I will." So she gets on the phone and she calls into that office
Mm-hmm.
and has the Continental deconsecrated, right? And people are getting this message down in the lobby. Guests are leaving, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what to do, and now there is a contract for both Winston and for John,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's just, it's like there will be members of the high table, emissaries of the high table here to
Yes.
relieve you of your duties.
Emissaries of the high table here to relieve you of your duty.
Now, she could just kill them herself. Why doesn't she?
Because she's an
not that skilled.
adjudicator.
No, I guess so.
She's not Judge Judy and executioner.
I guess there is a conflict of interest if you actually arm the adjudicator.
Yeah.
You don't want her going too rogue, do you?
No.
So, I love how after she leaves, John looks over at Winston's like, "Are the services open to me again?"
And Winston's like, all of the what was it?
Like, given the circumstances,
all of your benefits are reinstated immediately.
That's they go down to the vault,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's a classic giant vault.
Yeah, giant vault door.
But it's what's his handprint is what gets you in, and they go down with Sharon. And what I like about this vault before they go in is that there is a full bar,
Mm-hmm.
just on the outside of it,
Mm-hmm.
just stocked with the finest scotch and brandy and bourbon.
Yep.
And they go in, and there's a giant couch there for Winston to enjoy said spirits.
So he goes and he pours himself a glass. He goes sits down on the couch.
And he looks at it like he shows what he has, and then John starts looking around.
The walls of this vault are just lined with guns. Before they went down to the vault, then after the adjudicator left, then Winston.
That's right.
Winston asks John, "Well, what do you need?" And John
guns
pulls the Neo line, guns, lots of guns.
And the adjudicator actually goes down. She finds Zero. He has moved on from the lounge and gone to the barber shop area, and he's just shaving his own head.
Yeah,
in one of the chairs. It's like, I think that fortunes have turned in your favor. And he smiles, right? So the back of the vault, Sharon joins him. He's like, "It's like, if I may, sir, these are high table assassins, and their armor has been upgraded since you last were with us 5 years ago." Right?
Yeah, because John goes and he grabs the same Glock that he had in John Wick 2. It was the same one off there. He's like, and so Sharon's like, "Well, might I recommend this one instead?" So Sharon sort of plays the part of the sommelier here.
Yep. But sommelier in that one just lets him go about and have his nice meal. But Sharon joins him for the meal.
Sharon joins him for the meal. So John, he loads up, and Sharon loads up.
And then as they're leaving, they close the vault door, and then we cut in to the vault. And then there's Winston, and he says our line for the movie. And he just ends it with Parabellum.
Yes. Sic vis pacem Parabellum. And while he's saying that, the subtitles come up showing what he's saying. If you want peace, prepare for war.
Right. We cut in the lobby, and now all the lights are out. except for these green accent lightings, and you got this nice music going on, right? And they come into the lobby and they're shooting tear gas into there, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
smoke
not
bombs.
It's just it's
It's
no
smoke
so
bombs,
no
right?
it's flashbangs. So
Flashbang.
they
That's right, yes.
throw like 20 flashbangs into the lobby.
And what I like about this is that they're actually it's not just Sharon and John.
Mm-hmm.
There are other trusted members of the staff.
Yes, that are helping them out.
And they're all red shirts, so they'll all die, which is sad. But still, I'm glad they're there.
Yes. I'm glad some people stuck around to lend a hand. But yeah, like you said, they're all red shirts, so I mean they're all expendable.
It's quite a way to talk about some of them.
but
yeah, they all die. Like a dozen of them. I mean, there's a lot of expendable people in these movies. I mean, there's hordes of people that get sent.
Yeah. So they
kill John Wick.
They have this big shootout, and none of John has a rifle and he has pistols, right? And Sharon has a rifle and he has pistols, and they're shooting. None of these bullets are getting through the armor.
No,
for these assassins.
They had to get close in so they can actually just kind of get kind of where they don't have any armor and just go close combat.
It gets to the point where John is like coming right up on people and sticking the gun up under their helmet and shooting them. So they'll actually
reminds me,
past the armor.
There was one particular one that I liked. This is going back to Casablanca, with Barada. This was not actually John that did this. It was Sophia, one of the last people. She gets him up against a wall, and she's out of bullets, so she just pistol whips this guy repeatedly to the point where she's able to get another magazine. She puts it in, and then she finishes him off.
Yep.
Anyway, so but yeah, so they can't get through.
Yeah, I mean they're taking a couple of them down, but like we said, they got to get up close and personal with it in order to do that.
They're holding their own, and as they're doing this, the adjudicator calls down to Winston in the vault, right? He's like,
because there's a phone down there.
You won't be able to keep this up, and I'm glad that she knows exactly the phone, the number to the phone in the vault. But anyway, and he doesn't say anything.
I'm sure she's got a call list or something for the different phones that are in the hotel,
true.
And she figures he's probably in the vault.
She's probably the one guest left in the hotel, just enjoying herself. She's in her room, having her wine.
Yep.
Right. Anyway, so they dispatch a few of them. They're able to they separate off enough from all this action. And they get back into the vault, right? And I love John. He's just banging on. They're like, Winston, Winston. And Winston has a little remote control that he can open the vault door from inside of it. So he opens it.
He opens it, and John comes in, and he's like, "These guns aren't working." And Sharon walks over to the wall, and he pulls a shotgun off the wall.
He gets a box of ammo. He's like,
box of shells.
12 gauge, armor piercing.
12 gauge steel slugs, armor piercing. And so John grabs a shotgun off the wall. And they just start loading these shotguns up.
I love how, Winston, he's just sitting there. He's got a brandy snifter.
Yep.
He's just slowly swirling his brandy. He's like, go ahead.
Help yourself. My vault is your vault.
And they go back. And guess what? They have a lot more success with this.
It's because Winston knows he is safe. Not just because he's in a vault, but he knows who is defending him. He's got his
John Wick and Sharon.
His two most trusted people. The two most badass people in the world at this point.
Winston's not breaking a sweat. Yeah. He knows that this will just end with a bunch of dead people. And And two of them will not be John Wick and Sharon.
No. So John Wick and Sharon go back upstairs with their shotguns and their steel slugs. And these have no problem getting through that armor.
No problem.
No problem at all getting through the armor. So they're just mowing these guys down.
And now as they're doing this, they're starting to kind of move up the floors of the Continental. And now we got all these guys they sent. I mean, they sent like 2 busloads of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I love how the high table just has like 100 assassins ready at
ready to go,
send
like SWAT style,
just in case you need to take on someone like John Wick, because that just might have to happen randomly.
It might just have to happen that you send 200 guys in to take out one person.
And none of those guys survive. The people that do survive, so for this initial wave, are Zero and his men. Mm-hmm. And they're waiting up top.
Yeah. And that's the only reason they survive this wave. Because they're not down there shooting at them.
Right? And there's actually like 5 or 6 of them. Like, and John's able to kill the first 2 or 3.
That's because Zero is a huge fan of John Wick. He knows what he's capable of.
That's right, because he kills one of the other guys down, like in the kitchen area. Right? And he's like, oh no one's gonna kill.
No one's gonna kill John except me.
But me. Right? And so when they get up to that level, he kills like 2 or 3 of those guys. Right? And then he sees Zero and like he shoots at, he's kind of behind one of those glass things. It is bulletproof glass. And so the guy, Zero kind of gets up above him.
Mm-hmm.
And waves at him, something to that effect. And then 2 of the other guys, he's like 2 like his most trusted assassins kind of show up. And these guys also have a man crush on John.
Yeah. And so one of them, so John is on his back when they come in. And they stop. They don't just attack him right away. They allow him to get up.
Yeah, it's like, we're big fans too.
They allowed him to get on his feet, and one of them is like, it's an honor to fight with you.
like if these were different circumstances, we'd get you and Zero, and we'd have a lovely foursome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, they continue to attack him. And if they want to attack him, they fight with him.
They begin to attack him.
They get him back down again. And they look, it's like, oh, it's been 5 years. He's retired. He's a little bit slower. Like, it's a shame that he's, slightly off his game. But you know what? They don't just kill. No, do they kill him? No, because they know they're probably not allowed to kill him because Zero has told them.
Yeah, nobody kills him but me. And
right? But they let him get back up. He gets up. He's like, don't attack yet. I gotta get my belt off. So he takes off his belt.
And then he uses the belt as a weapon.
And they have a nice fight, the 3 of these guys, right? And he's finally able to get one of them down, like kind of incapacitated. And so he's dealing with him. And again, this is all glass that they're fighting on. This is a glass floor. So
they're breaking through the glass. Throwing each other through it. They're swinging their swords at John, and he's ducking behind the glass, so the glass stops the sword. It's a very well put together fight sequence.
It's very well choreographed, very well put together, like you said. And it's well done. It's a good fight. Mm-hmm. These guys are worthy of John Wick. They really are.
Yes.
They feel honored to fight with him.
And they're holding their own against him for the most part.
They're holding their own. And you can tell at the end, he feels honored to actually fight with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
He realizes why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah. And he deems them worthy of his trouble.
Yes. And so we get to the point where, he's able to get one, incapacitates to one, and then he's fighting with the other, and then, the glass just breaks through. and they fall to the floor below, and these guys are just knocked out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get the impression like they're not actually killed. But John doesn't bother with them
No.
at this point. He could kill them, but I think again, he's got this actual respect
Yeah.
for these guys. He has no need to kill them
he's
off.
not. Yeah. He's not a senseless killer.
Exactly.
He's an assassin, but he doesn't just kill to kill.
Right. So Zero tells him, like, we both, are both masters of death. But, like, I think this is the slight difference. I think Zero lends more towards that other side.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then they start to have a fight. Right? And it becomes a sword fight. Right? Well, this is...
Yeah, because John picks up one of the swords from the other guys.
That's right, yes. And you gotta be like, this also, beyond just like these crystal skulls are up there, like, there's old, like, samurai headwear and Japanese, all this ceremonial headwear from different, like, feudal Japan that's in here.
Mm-hmm. That's in these glass cases.
So, but they're fighting up there, and again, they're having a good fight because Zero's a skilled assassin too.
Zero, he wants to be John Wick. So he has trained himself to fight like John Wick.
Unfortunately for Zero, he's not quite John Wick himself.
No, he's not.
So they get to a point where I love this. Like, John Wick's able, slashes at him, and he cuts off his fingers on his left hand, right? And you look up and like, yeah, and they'll basically like kind of cut off midway, like at the first knuckle of the fingers. And so now he's effectively really just can use one hand. He can't really grip anything with the other hand that he has now.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to. He's giving a valiant effort against John Wick, even though he's now maimed.
Yep. And then eventually John Wick stabs him through the chest with a sword.
Yep.
And he drops to, like, he's sitting down. Zero's sitting down, and
he's got, and the sword is now, John's pushed the sword through him. And so they both drop to their knees at this point. They're kind of sitting next to each other.
They're just like next to each other. And then
it's kind of like they're down in the lobby.
They just start chatting.
Except Zero's got a sword sticking through him.
And John gets up and he sort of starts to walk away, and Zero's like, just give me a minute. I'll get you. And John's like, no, you won't. And then Zero just falls over to the side, dead.
I appreciate Zero's effort. I really do.
I do too. I love his character. It's just...
There is a movie in some other part of this universe. It's a prequel where Zero is the hero of the movie.
Yes, and Mark Dacascos plays him perfectly.
Yes. I love he just sits down. It's like, I'm your biggest fan. Like, he's trying not to like explode out of that couch.
Yes. Oh, yep. So
then after John leaves, though, and Zero falls over dead, we cut back to Winston in the vault. And
now Winston's on the roof.
Not yet.
Oh, wait.
He gets a phone call again from the adjudicator. She's like, I suggest a parlay.
Right. That's right.
And then he sees Winston walk in. And he sees Sharon walk in. He's like, I think that's a good idea.
And so they meet on the roof.
Cut to the roof. And it's like early the next morning. Like the sun is rising. Right? And then the roof, like, there's this massive, massive fireplace on this.
Yes,
roof.
I love that. There's a fireplace on the roof of the Continental.
And I love how there's a fire going in this fireplace, even though all hell has just broken loose down below.
Yes. So they're up there and they're talking.
Yeah, it's first is Sharon and Winston. He's like, you got to play here? He's like, I think I do. Right? And then the adjudicator comes in, right? And he's like, I would like to, have the
Would like my
Continental
hotel
back.
back. Yes, I would like the Continental to be reconsecrated.
He's like, oh, you were showing strength. They thought that would get us, the on the good side. To earn us,
Mm-hmm.
to earn your position back. It's like, yes. It's like, well, how do you think we're going to go about this, right? And that's when John Wick walks in,
He
right? And he
walks
is, of
in
course,
and
he's limping a little bit because he's just had a bunch of fights and
I love this. He limps up there, stands next to Winston, and just looks over at Winston. He's like, "Parlay," and Winston's like, "Yep."
yeah.
And so, the adjudicator, agrees that okay, the New York Continental would be reconsecrated.
I guess before that, the talk was like, it's like this is just the first wave. This is just an amuse bouche. And then Chris Tucker comes like, did he say amuse bouche?
Then Coleman Domingo comes up and he's like, your bouche will not be amused.
Her bouche is definitely not amused, by the way. Right? It's like the high table has more at its disposal. It's like, yes, in New York City, we can handle any wave you send us.
Yeah.
And that's what convinces her, like, oh, you're just trying to show strength.
We have John Wick. John Wick has already killed half the high table goons anyway.
So it's
between these three movies, he's already killed like half of them.
It's funny when he talks about we have New York City. What New York City? What are you talking about? It made me think about Ghostbusters 2, and it's like, come on, Vigo, we're in New York City. We're gonna rally the Statue of Liberty and defeat your ass.
Yep. We're gonna make the Statue of Liberty come to life.
Spoiler alert! We want to do Ghostbusters 2 one of these days.
Yeah, we do. But sure, why not? That's sure fine as a spoiler. But anyway, spoiler alert for Ghostbusters 2. But yes, we are going to be doing that someday.
So that's what convinces her to agree to give it back. But then after she says it'll be reconsecrated, it's like, well, what are we going to do about him?
What are we going to do about him? And motions to John.
And then he's like, oh yeah, what about him? He's John fucking Wick. Just let him be.
Yeah, just let him be. But no, Winston's like, well, I guess we'll have to kill him. And he pulls out a gun and he shoots John. And John goes tumbling off that roof.
He shoots him, and then he's like, Winston, and he shoots him again, and he goes tumbling off the roof. And he goes down like a pinball.
Yes. He's just bouncing from one building to the next, just all the way down to the street.
And he hits the fire escape right before he hits the bottom of the street in the alley.
Now, Winston knew that John was wearing a bulletproof suit.
Yes. I don't think he fully expected a pinball.
No, probably not.
But he knew he was wearing a bulletproof suit.
And even here, that Winston was not trying to kill John. You could tell that
John Wick was.
Yeah.
Go on.
You can tell Winston was not trying to kill John. You can tell that he was just putting on a show for the adjudicator. And John knows that.
As much as John Wick was surprised by it happening, he knew that, okay.
This is what Winston needs to do in order to convince the adjudicator to give him his hotel back.
If I'm dead.
Mm-hmm. If I'm dead, in quotes, then yeah. Then the adjudicator will leave us all alone.
She looks over. She's like, okay. No, it's all yours again. She leaves, and Sharon's like, how long until we can be back in business? Like, I think we can be back in business this afternoon.
They might have to do a little cleaning.
And we see them cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
They're cleaning when they get down to the line.
Yeah. Yep.
Our friends of John Wick 1 are sent some people to help clean up.
Yep. Wonder how many coins that one took.
And she gets down there and she's about to get in the Mercedes she was in, but she gets a little gut feeling. And she walks around.
And she looks to where John fell.
There's nothing there.
He's
not there.
Is he a Jedi? Did he disappear when he died?
Alec Guinness. I didn't know that.
No, because his clothes would still be there.
Mm.
Or at least his jacket.
Yes. They were like Santa Claus and the Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Santa Claus disappears except for the Santa suit.
Yep.
But
Tim Allen needs to put it on. Yeah, he has to don the
suit.
Santa suit. So, yeah.
Wow. Did not expect the Santa Claus to come up in this episode.
Does that mean that when Darth Vader killed Obi-Wan Kenobi and his robe fell, if Vader had put on Obi-Wan's robe, would he have become Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Oh my goodness, it's the Obi-Wan clause.
And therefore not needed his suit anymore to, like, stay alive?
I think that's exactly what would have happened.
Huh. Okay. I like it.
I like it too. Wow. Didn't expect us to go there tonight.
Me neither. But it happens. But anyway, then we see as the adjudicator sees that John is not there. She goes back into the hotel, and then we see
Mr. Wick's not there.
We see
well, where could he have gone?
Jason Mantzoukas once again, and this time he is pushing a grocery cart.
He picks him up and puts him in the cart
with John Wick in the cart.
And we cut back to the lobby as he's pushing him away. He's like, "You understand that, like if he really is alive, like we have to deal with him. Like he'll come after you and me, and I don't need him on me. He's John Wick. I've seen what he can do. Like there is now a movie out there where the adjudicator is having nightmares about John Wick.
Yes.
This woman is going to live the rest of her life having nightmares about John Wick.
About John Wick sneaking up behind her and whispering, "It's time to die."
Winston doesn't need those. He's not going to have those dreams.
No.
But the adjudicator definitely is going to have these dreams now.
Yes. So then it cuts to underground in the subway tunnels.
Yep.
And
the music's building to a nice crescendo.
And Jason Mantzoukas
and we see him pushing the cart.
He pushes the cart up, and he gets John Wick out of the cart. And John's laying on his face on the floor. And the camera pans out, and we see the Bowery King.
Well, we don't see him fully yet. We see his arm. Like he's sipping. We see someone sipping an orange Fanta.
Yes, that's right. We see someone sipping an orange Fanta, Dr. Claw style.
Yes. With a Dr. Claw type chair.
I'll get you, Gadget.
It's kind of fitting because he wants to get something.
Yes.
And then we cut from behind. Because we're seeing the behind. We cut to the front, and we see the Bowery King. We see Lawrence Fishburne, and we see
and he's got cuts all over, and he's got bandages and stuff on. And he starts talking to John. And John's not responding. He's just laying flat on his face. And eventually,
like, show me your hand.
Bowery King's like,
John.
Raise your hand if you can hear me. And John raises his hand, his left hand that is missing the finger. And he's like, oh, they took a finger.
And he laughs at it. And then John gives him the finger.
John flips up his other finger.
No. It's like the old man shot you. It's like, I don't blame him. I would have done the same thing to save myself.
Mm-hmm. But John doesn't say all this. he doesn't say a word here.
He didn't say a word yet. But then the Bowery King, he gets up out of his throne.
And he's like,
he's got his cane. It's like, well, we got to do something about this high table shit.
I'm pissed off. Are you pissed off, John? And John sort of raises up. He sort of gets up to his knees. He's like, yeah.
And we end.
And then the credits start rolling.
And the credits roll with a ballerina going on in the background. And I guess he did kind of say, like, the Bowery King is like, it's like, they know that I become king. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the credits roll from there. And now we're left with another cliffhanger. We have the Bowery King, John Wick, and Winston at war with the high table.
Yeah. Yeah. Every movie just gets bigger.
It just gets bigger. It keeps getting bigger. It keeps growing, like we said. Like this movie grew larger, right?
Every movie we learn something else about this whole world that they live in.
And the more you actually hate this high table.
Yeah.
And that they're full of shit.
Yeah.
And there's all these other assassins are also really skilled, like Zero.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a respect for him, and you're happy that John kills him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But still, he's not just an expendable assassin. He earns his death.
He does.
At the hands of John. He's a worthy foe.
He is a worthy foe.
Just like Common was a worthy foe in John Wick Chapter 2.
Yes. He feels differently about some of the different people that he has to end up killing that he just doesn't like. Right? Like Ernst. He doesn't want to kill Ernst.
No, he doesn't.
He gives Ernst a chance, but guess what? He doesn't have the same respect for Ernst.
Mm-mm.
He treats Ernst like a rag doll.
Ernst doesn't have the same respect for him.
No. But guess what happens? What's going to happen?
Yeah. Ernst.
And we're going to see the same thing.
By a book. He should have read more.
He should have read more. He'd be like, oh, man. Goodness gracious. That dear Mr. Crenshaw, that changed my life. That made me realize that John Wick is an incredible badass, and I should leave him alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A Tale of Two Cities? It was the best of times. It was the worst of times? Dude. That hit me. Right in the heart.
That hit me. And if I choose to fight John Wick, it will be the
worst of times.
War and peace. I choose peace with John Wick.
Yes. Yes, I do not want to go to war against John Wick.
I don't know why the high table has not figured this out yet. And
I mean, they're the ones that trained him.
The next installment's going to find that out even more.
They're the ones that trained him because the Roscaroma is under the high table.
Yes. So they know all about his training. Everyone knows John Wick. He got the nickname the Boogeyman within a world of a bunch of highly skilled assassins.
Mm-hmm.
Of all of them, one of them got the moniker the Boogeyman.
Yeah, one of them is known as the guy who they send to kill the Boogeyman.
Again, we've been using this a lot lately because it's perfect because we did the movie, we did the episode recently, but like Chuck Norris gives someone nightmares. John Wick gives someone nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
Why do you mess with either one of these people? Like, Roscoff should have known that if he was going to pull this shit and invade the U.S., choosing Miami in the backyard of where Chuck Norris lived, the guy that's giving him constant nightmares, was not the place to do it.
No.
He should have chosen a place like Astoria, Oregon.
Yeah. Now, I mean, it was smart of him to at least attempt to take out Chuck Norris before going into the rest of his plan. Yes. But that's one of those, you can't just attempt to do it. You got to make sure you do it.
And it's the same with John Wick. And people will continue to make the same mistake again because the next movie we're doing called John Wick Chapter 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the definition of insanity. You keep trying to do the same thing, expecting different results.
Yep.
So, but we can discuss more of that next week.
Yes. So, do we have anything else?
I think that's
it. What do you want to
it.
say about John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum?
I think we nailed it.
I think so too. So, if you enjoy what you're hearing, then go ahead and check us out on our social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram and Threads. It is Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. The and is spelled out. A-N-D. It's not an ampersand like the name of the podcast. We're also on X or Twitter. It is R&T Cinematic. And we are also on Letterboxd, so you can check out our reviews on various movies. Some we've done on the podcast, some we haven't done, some we will do, some we won't do. But that is Cine Adventure or Cine Adventure, C-I-N-E Adventure. You can also send us an email at robandtonycinematicadventure@gmail.com. Once again, the and is spelled out. A-N-D, it's not an ampersand like the name of the podcast. But reach out to us. Send us an email. Comment on our stuff. You know, we want to hear from you. What did you think of John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum? Did you enjoy it? Is it your favorite John Wick movie? Is it your least favorite John Wick movie? What did you think of it? Are you looking forward to John Wick Chapter 4? Are you one of those people that waited almost a year between our discussion on John Wick Chapter 2 before we came back with John Wick Chapter 3? You know, are you one of those people that waited almost a year to watch it? Anyway, let us know. We want to hear from you. And go to our social media, give us a like and a follow. Go to your favorite podcast app, wherever you're listening to us. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a good rating, a good review. That's how we move up in the rankings and the search and the recommendations, all that stuff. So that we can reach more people that want to listen to us talk about these movies. Because we love movies. And we know you do too. Movies. And so, yeah. Next time, I mean, you know what we're going to be talking about next time. We're going to be talking about John Wick Chapter 4. We're going to close out these John Wick movies.
Yes.
Even though they are planning on making a John Wick Chapter 5. So I'm sure once that comes out, I'm sure we'll be talking about that one too.
There is Ballerina also. Which maybe we'll do one day.
Yeah, maybe we will do Ballerina one day. But yeah, that's from the world of John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so next time we are going to be talking about John Wick Chapter 4 to close out this quadrilogy. And then after that, we're going to be getting into our summer blockbusters.
Yes.
Because it is that time of year.
Section of movies.
Yes. We're going to be going on after John Wick Chapter 4 with our summer blockbuster series. So that's going to be a fun one. I always enjoy doing those.
Always enjoyable.
So join us next time for John Wick Chapter 4.